So for my presentation, I'm going to be talking about river pollution, but instead of like the usual kind of lecture, not that there's anything wrong with that, I decided to actually get out, and we're going to be seeing just how much there actually is to it. Like, if it's as bad as you always hear, or if maybe it's better. So we're going to check it out. And I'm going to be focusing a little bit on like what things are made of, their effects on the environment, but mostly my point of this is just to show you how much there is out there. So we have here a man-made pipe, and even though it's not like polluting or anything, although it is kind of rusty down there, you can see how the water coming down, which isn't natural, it's not normally supposed to do this, is actually shaping the land as it goes down. So it has been less than 30 seconds I've been down here, and already I found a beer can. And it's not like this is it either. There's a lot of stuff I'll be going around gathering up. But these can last in the environment anywhere from like 200 to 500 years before decomposing. But the good thing about them is that they're really recyclable, and all they really do is just kind of burn them down, and you can reuse most of the material in here. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't tend to do that, as you can see. So I found a Hallmark bag down here, and as we talked about in class, the thing with plastic is even though it does clog up waterways and it takes about 500 to 1,000 years to decompose, it tends to seep into the soil and release toxic chemicals, and it can also be eaten by other things, which then kind of get stuck and chokes them, and eventually they die. Like all those birds you see that are cut open, and a lot of what's in there is like plastic and stuff. So I have a feeling I'll probably be finding a lot more of this down the line. So we're still on the same spot. I haven't gone anywhere, and unfortunately I'm barefoot, and there are shards of glass everywhere. There's shattered beer bottles, pretty much all over the sand you could find little pieces of them. And the thing with glass is that it's actually not bad for the environment, like as far as recycling goes. It takes about 1 million years to decompose and everything, but probably the biggest concern is just how sharp it is. Like this alone, just anybody walking barefoot can get sliced open, then they might go in the water, get a lot of bacteria, and that's probably the biggest concern right there. It's just, I mean, these are used as weapons, and they're just lying around in the sand. So I was looking a little more, and I found 3 different colors of glass, which means at least 3 bottles around here were just dropped. So don't know what I can do with these yet, but I'll probably just put them in like a garbage bag maybe, and no, actually I don't have a garbage bag, so come back for them and all that. But at least there nobody will step on them. And found another plastic water bottle. It's probably gonna be a lot of these. And same as before, it takes a hell of a long time to decompose, and eventually it'll break down, get in the water, and it's gonna be here definitely long after we're all dead. So I found another beer bottle, and it's a little disturbing here, but it seems like a baby sock, or at least somebody really small sock. And socks take about 100 years to decompose, nothing too crazy, but you can kind of get a sense of what's going on around down here. So still in the same area, all the rocks and stuff. We found a big chunk of iron, and I don't know what this is from. We were exploring a different day and found like an actual axe head, like it was a whole axe. But I couldn't find it again today, so I don't know if somebody took it or what was going on with that. But this metal doesn't really decompose as much as it does oxidize, and it becomes, I believe, iron oxide. Gotta double check on that, which isn't bad in like small doses, but when it accumulates and gets into rivers and stuff, it can poison fish and pollute the environment and everything. But overall, it's just tetanus is a possibility, and you wouldn't really want to step on this. I doubt any animal would either. So briefly, found another piece of glass that was pretty buried in the ground, and actually a whole beer can that somebody was considerate enough not to smash against the wall. And speaking of wall, as you can see here, there's a lot of graffiti and stuff like that. And I didn't find a whole lot about graffiti, other than it releases a little bit of methanol when they spray it. But ironically, cleaning it actually emits more harmful chemicals than spraying it does. So this is just a rock. I didn't anywhere near clear out this area, but that was just pretty much what I saw going into it. And I also found a really cool, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. It's like a fossil. I'll probably bring that in and maybe Dr. V can figure out what it is. So I was just walking back and my girlfriend found this. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's got like that rainbow oily kind of texture to it. And there's a lot of what looks like plastic around it too. So God knows what happened here. So our next destination, it's gonna be that wall down there, and I'm on a bridge and there's probably cars coming, but who cares. And there's really rusty water. I don't know if you can see from here. So we're gonna climb down that wall and hopefully get a closer look. So there's the bridge we just crossed. And a lot of times bridges and rivers can be very, very obstructive to a lot of things living in them. And like things could run into them, but more so than that, they could actually change the entire current that's actually in the river and create edge habitat and all the other kind of stuff we went down in class. So we're about to, it's weird because I see rust coming down, but there's no rust over here. Oh my, I'm terrified of heights, so you guys really appreciate this. Down there, you can see the rust. That's water with rust in it flowing into the river. So I'm gonna go down there and maybe try to find a source or something. So we'll see how it goes. How do you get down this? So this is just pure orange seeping into the stream. You can actually see the color change happening in the water. And there's no origin, no source, nothing like that. We're at the bottom of this wall. And it's just coming straight out of the bottom. I don't know from what, but we were here yesterday making sure it was a good place to like find pollution and everything, which every river is, but you know what I mean. And there was an earthworm sitting there in the rust, and the thing actually had bubbles on it, and it was not doing well and definitely reacting chemically with the rust itself. And we washed it off in the river, took it home, and I ended up burying it. And actually I think it lived because I unburied it today and couldn't find it. So I got pictures. I'll probably just record them at the end because I don't have my phone with me right now. But there's a lot going on. So if something looks like it's shiny, it actually is. It looks like that's all oil. It's got the same rainbow shape and everything with the rust just sitting there. I don't know where it's coming from. There's more over there. This is pretty crazy. And it's right by the bridge still. So there's the road right behind us, and there's the park. And looking into this field here, all you see are trees. But at just the right angle, when we were over there, something caught our eye, and it seemed to be like a natural oil well or something like that. And just like we talked about in class at some point about how things are kind of hidden and they try not to let you see them, it appears to be exactly that. So we're gonna go check it out. So there's the park way down there. Here's all the trees that are blocking it. And I don't even know what this is either. Hopefully we can make more sense of it in class, but you got two big, looks like barrel kind of things, and lots of pipes going in the ground suggesting it's some kind of gas. Probably is natural gas, but who knows. Either way though, it's just interesting how it was hidden. Here's an awesome example of edge habitat, as well as being very rich but not so much diverse. Got a lot of trees that look like they've been all planted, and it's very, very, very young, almost beginning of a forest, which is kind of cool. Everything's all close together, and it's funny because the further we get from where a lot of people tend to go, the less pollution there is. And it's real nice and clean over here. She wanted to express her creativity, so I gave her a moment there. We were walking the path, the park's like way over there now, and we came across like this L, and there's a bunch of trees blocking this thing. You can barely even see the road, and it's a petroleum pump. It actually says it on there. And it's pretty cool how it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's a circle of trees blocking it, and barbed wire here too. So more interesting stuff. Better not be looking. We're a lot further down the river now, and I'm finding a lot less aluminum cans and stuff like that, and more of they got some broken pottery here. and some glass that's been smoothed out over time, so it's like sea glass now, and also some garbage bags that are just buried in the dirt, probably over a really long period of time. So I just found this. It's obviously man-made. Not gonna have a whole lot of negative impact on the environment or anything, but it's still kind of cool. And you get a lot of, oh, here's a can and a crayfish too. Looks like a really old Pepsi can. It's been weathered away there. It's very sharp and jagged. Things could probably get caught on it. But even, I don't see a single person in sight, no roads, nothing like that. And things still find their way down. Oh, unless you get the crayfish. Can you see the crayfish?
Oh yeah, it's huge.
She went over there because there's a bunch of sticks and stuff, and I'm barefoot. So there is, where is it? There it is. There's a pipe that's, I had trouble finding it even there because it was so hidden. And it doesn't look like much, it's just part of the landscape here. And then you can see the residual where something was flowing out of it. It's going into like a creek over there. And now there's just a big pile of rust sediment built up that is flowing down into the river. And first look, it's like, and I know when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it's coming from the rock. But then she pointed out that they're really discrete pipe. So very interesting stuff here. You recording?
Yep.
All right, so same spot as where the pipe was. Along the, little further actually, along the shoreline here, but still no one around. There's just, I mean, it's like tarp just buried there. And there's a lot of it going down. You can actually, there's still more of it down there. Where the tarp was. There's a lot of this rope, don't even know what it is, but even better, this is actually just the top of an aluminum can. Looks like it started to degrade there. Who knows how old this is. But it's just rusty now. The bottom half is gone. It's yeah. Isn't that crazy? It was just buried. So it really shows you how long these things can last. Across the river from us, it looks like there's a house way, actually no, it's not way back there. It's right back there. And we saw this. It looks like part of somebody's house actually just collapsed and fell into the river. And it doesn't actually look like much, but it still kind of shows you how things can happen. That'll be there for hundreds and hundreds of years to come. And who knows what happens when more of this starts to erode and actual houses start falling in rivers. It'll be pretty interesting. Are you recording?
Yes.
All right, so here's, I don't even know what this is. It's like a, yeah, it's like a window drape or something. And it's just a big piece of plastic. And something I'm realizing about all this stuff that's in here, it's just so random. You don't really find anything valuable, nothing like that. It's just shit that people don't feel like throwing away, and I guess just throwing rivers or something. But also here's, oh, you know, it may actually, yeah, it is, Dad. Yep, that's all sand in there. It's remains of a big clamshell. The sand's very, very black. You can tell it's not very healthy. And it's kind of cool. So in conclusion, remember to keep your environment clean. Do what I do. Get outside, have some fun. While you're at it, just clean up a little bit of garbage. You do that, everything will be a-okay. In reality, though, everything won't be a-okay. I mean, humans are growing at an exponential rate. The ones who get the food tend to be the most selfish bastards of them all. And none of us are about to go out and get off our asses and get out here, including me, every day and start cleaning up the environment. So we can recycle all we want and make an individual difference, reduce your ecological footprint, but ultimately it is kind of up to us to control this growth rate. And I'm kind of a pessimist, honestly, and believe that humans aren't innately good. We tend to do what benefits us, and that's really about it. So really all we can do is limit the number of children we have, hopefully bring our population down, and teach our kids essentially what's right, because we aren't going to do shit about it. So hopefully, my point of this whole presentation wasn't to be informative or anything like that, and hopefully I don't lose points, but I wanted to focus more on just how much we've done in such a discrete little area. And if, I mean, hardly anybody probably even comes down here. And you saw the glass I was picking up, plastic that'll be there for hundreds of thousands of years. And there's not a whole lot we can do about it at this rate, except just teach our kids, and hopefully they'll be better than us.